join us on a journey. We're going to level up as a company. We're going to evolve. Here it is, the Neo 3 Link.
Hello and welcome to Tuesday Newsday, your #1 resource for the entire week's worth of VR news. This week is absolutely jam-packed with massive announcements from Pico. The Meta Showcase is coming up, some rumored headset delays, and what the heck is this thing? All that and so much more, but first, a word from this video sponsor. So we all know VR has a very bright future, and one thing I always want to encourage is for people to start making VR content, whether that's games or YouTube videos. And when I started 3 years ago, I learned practically from nothing how to edit a video, but you don't have to do that. This video sponsor, Skillshare, can teach you the skills you've been wanting or needing to learn. Video creation, 3D modeling, programming, they have it all. Skillshare is a learning community with thousands of courses designed to help you take your skills to the next level, with courses ranging from beginner to expert. And Skillshare is offering to the first 1,000 people that use my link and my code Thrillseeker a free 1-month trial. So why not give it a go? Level up your skill and the VR community at the same time. Thanks again, Skillshare, for supporting the channel and making these videos possible. But now it's time to get right into the news. Let's start this one off with some positivity. VR is booming, and there's no doubt in my mind it's going to continue to boom all year long. I mean, just in February alone, Meta claims the amount of money spent on the Quest Store was over $1 billion. That's actually pretty insane. And as of now, there are over 124 games on the Quest Store that have all blown past $1 million in sales. Granted, some of them were ports from other platforms, but the point still stands. VR is growing exponentially, and that growth is not expected to slow down anytime soon, especially for standalone VR. And obviously, the more mainstream attention VR gets, the more big-name investors and developers will get involved with it. And speaking of Meta, their Meta Quest Showcase is coming up very soon, as in tomorrow, which seems like as good a time as any to mention. I will be streaming the whole event on Twitch tomorrow starting at 12:30 p.m. EST. And while last year's showcase was pretty boring, I've heard through the grapevine that some really awesome announcements are coming for 2022, including a certain rumored game from a certain VR developer, and there may just be some truth to that. Brandon JLA sent a tweet confirming they are definitely announcing Project 4 at the MetaQuest Showcase tomorrow. So I'm expecting some really good stuff, and I'd love for you to join me. We all know VR could use some good games as of now, but now we get into the really exciting stuff. The kind of news that I've been waiting for years now. We are finally actually getting competition in the standalone VR space, and very soon. The Pico Neo 3 is a really interesting headset I covered a while back. This headset looks, feels, and operates a lot like a Quest 2. Actually, almost exactly like a Quest 2. It's similarly priced, has almost the exact same specs, and even shares a very familiar looking UI. And a while ago, I speculated that this headset could very easily become a legitimate Quest 2 competitor, and well, exactly that is happening. Pico has officially announced their launch of the Pico Neo 3 Link. However, only for the European market for now. And before you totally lose interest, there's actually a bigger reason for that. Pico is calling this launch a beta program, launching to a slightly smaller user base in Europe before going totally global, stating users will provide, quote, feedback on upgrades to the Pico Store, Pico user account system, payment, social, and other services, end quote. Additionally, Pico is saying that participation in the beta program gives people that buy the Neo 3 Link a 35% discount to whatever headset they may or may not release in the next 12 months, which means writing is on the wall. Pico just practically confirmed they are likely to announce another VR headset in the next 12 months. And we do actually have information on that, but back on the Link for a moment. The Pico Neo 3 Link could really give the Quest a run for its money. It's clocked slightly higher for slightly better performance, the headset is way more ergonomic, and then there's the Quest 2 PSVR problem. Yeah, you can use Wi-Fi for PSVR on the Quest, same with the Pico, but it's not perfect, and you can expect anywhere from some to a lot of compression and latency. And of course, you can use a wired link with USB, but then you'll have to deal with video streams getting compressed, and the Pico handles this with its Link offering, using an optional 5-meter DisplayPort cable that comes with the headset, allowing the user to stream zero latency uncompressed footage straight to their PC without any USB bandwidth issues. And I've actually been one of the few people in the States to own a Pico Neo 3, as previously this headset was China only, and from my opinion, the headset isn't perfect, but it pretty much does everything a Quest 2 does. Some things slightly better, some things slightly worse. You just lose the Meta attachment, Facebook login, and of course the Oculus or Meta exclusive titles. And I think that this approach of a beta program to improve software and hardware before a massive worldwide launch is honestly pretty smart. Pico is really going to need all of the user feedback they can get if they're trying to compete directly with Meta. And pretty much they are trying to compete directly with Meta, even more than you could possibly imagine, which brings me to this next VR headset, the one that they may or may not release to a wider audience in the next 12 months or so. And I'll be real here, Pico is just hardcore copying the exact strategies, marketing, and even hardware that Meta has already had success with. The Pico Neo 3 is pretty much just a Quest 2, or a Quest 2 is a Pico Neo 3, doesn't matter which way you look at it. Some even say that the parts come from the same factories. But the comparison gets even closer. Oculus and Meta have Facebook and Instagram, Pico and ByteDance have TikTok. Both are heavily subsidizing hardware sales via their parent companies, so surprise, surprise, Pico is also making a premier standalone headset to directly compete with the upcoming Meta Cambria. And this is where things get kind of funny. The similarities between Pico's and Meta's headsets really don't stop between the Pico Neo 3 and Quest 2. The Cambria and Pico's next headset both supposedly have eye tracking, face tracking, camera-based inside-out tracking, likely full RGB pass-through. They even look similar. It sounds like Pico is just gearing up to make the Cambria but for themselves. This headset is dubbed the Pico Neo 4, although there's no confirmation on that name. And it's set to release worldwide before the end of this year, supposedly. Poised to be direct competition with Meta's offerings, it looks pretty similar, specs sound very similar, and I'm really interested to see what sort of features each of them offer, because to be real, if the Neo 4 has direct DisplayPort output like the Link and the Cambria doesn't, and they share the rest of the same features, plus I wouldn't have to use Oculus software, I don't know, the Neo 4 is starting to sound pretty nice on paper. Supposedly, the Neo 4 has a projected build cost of $1,500 per unit, but like I mentioned before, it's going to be heavily subsidized, which means the price of this thing will be coming way down. Couple that with the beta program discount that Pico is offering as well, and well, this is for the first time ever that actual real competition for Meta is on its way. And even though it's ByteDance, I don't necessarily hate this, I think. I'm really more curious to see if other people are interested. If you put a Pico Neo 4 and a Meta Cambria side by side, say the exact specs for the same price, which would someone buy? Which would you buy? All in all, it's competition, and headsets are headsets. Regardless of who it's from, competition will keep VR fresh, and I'm just excited to see any competition. It's something that we haven't had at all, and I'll be watching this very closely. If you guys are interested in me making more Pico videos, because I actually have a Pico Neo 3, let me know. I'd love to actually compare them side by side more in depth than I did before. But now it's time for a meme break! Horizon Worlds is a metaverse, VR chat is a metaverse, Reddit is a metaverse, using a taser on somebody is a metaverse. This metaverse alignment chart is pretty interesting. Where do you stand?
The metaverse.
And now, back to the news. VR is getting hot, really hot, especially this year. Between Cambria announcements, PSVR 2, Pico expanding markets globally, even Apple now hopping into the VR ring, things are just getting pretty intense. And the shade has officially been thrown, and this one was a particularly good burn. Apple spokesman Fred Sainz came out of the gate hot this week, criticizing Meta for their nearly 50% fee from Horizon Worlds creators. Which, by the way, in case you didn't know, Horizon Worlds from Meta takes a 50% fee from creators, which is insane. But anyways, here's the quote. Meta has repeatedly taken aim at Apple for charging developers a 30% commission for in-app purchases in the App Store, and have used small businesses and creators as a scapegoat at every turn. Now, Meta seeks to charge those same creators significantly more than any other platform. Meta's announcement lays bare Meta's hypocrisy. It goes to show that while they seek to use Apple's platform for free, they happily take from the creators and small businesses that use their own platform. End quote. Ouch. Holy cow, but he's kinda right though. Meta has criticized Apple a bunch of times in the past over their 30% Apple App Store fee, so hearing them come out and say that they're going to charge creators on their platform almost half of the revenue is actually hypocritical. But enough with the corporate drama. Sadly, it's looking more and more like PSVR 2 and Apple's AR/VR headset will be delayed until 2023. Back in February, it was said that Sony was shooting for Q1 of 2023 for the PSVR 2, and that's for a variety of pretty decent reasons, from supply chain to wanting to push more PS5s. And it seems like this sentiment was confirmed by Ross Young, the CEO of Display Chain Consultants, in this tweet confirming that in all likelihood these two headsets just aren't happening this year. Additionally, the Apple headset has reportedly faced a number of problems during its development, which has slowed down the progress further. Although I still can't shake the idea of an M1 similarly powered 8K mixed reality device from Apple. I don't know if it'll ever come, but when it does, it will be pretty wild, if that ever does actually happen. Just this week, HTC Vive tweeted a picture of an odd-looking device with cables and a screen and what looked like multiple base stations and Vive tracking support. This was all just very interesting. Combine that image with this one of a similar-looking device sitting on top with a camera and Vive trackers, I think that all the pieces of the puzzle slowly start coming together. It's hard to tell exactly what this device is capable of yet, as HTC themselves haven't released any information on it other than this single picture, but at the very least, it's looking to be some sort of VR-based mocap system that uses Vive trackers, base stations, and this box. I'm hoping that there's some sort of possibility that people could use this sort of device for full body tracking solutions with standalone or on the go, since lugging around giant PC towers with you is pretty cumbersome. And this coming at the same time that HTC is implementing its open XR beta for the Vive Focus 3 leaves me feeling like there's some sort of bigger picture here, but we'll see. And now it's time for question of the week from Charlie. Would it be better to buy the Quest 2 in 2 months or wait for the Cambria to come out and save for that instead? And honestly, I have no clue when the Cambria is actually releasing. I have no clue how much it's going to cost, but I don't see the Quest 2 going anywhere anytime super soon, and I also don't see the Quest 2 losing value anytime soon. So buying a Quest 2 now isn't such a bad idea, and maybe selling it to buy a Cambria later on if it's really that good is a good idea too. Personally, just more time in VR is better, so if you can get your hands on a Quest 2 now, then might as well do it. And that's question of the week. Make sure to leave your own down below, and I may just answer yours next. Check out my Discord server because there's awesome stuff going on in there, and I will be streaming on Twitch tomorrow doing the Meta Showcase, so I can't wait to see you guys there. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters, especially my Omegas. I'm bringing lots of new cool stuff to the Patreon soon, and I can't wait to show you guys. And of course, don't forget to like this video if you loved it, subscribe if you want more of this, and hit that freaking bell if you just can't live without it. Much love, Thrill out.